Hi guys, this is video number 32, and it is chapter 6, section 4. Oh, I forgot the C. Section 4. And this is all about multiplying radicals. And essentially, there's one big rule here. You are going to multiply any coefficients together and keep it as a coefficient. Coefficient. There we go. You are going to multiply any radicals together. And you're going to keep as a radical. And then you're going to simplify the single expression. This is actually, if you have gotten pretty confident and good at simplifying the radicals, multiplying is actually very easy. I think it's easier than adding and subtracting. So let me show you what I mean here. We're going to start with 2 rad 6 times 5 rad 8. Okay, so coefficients. Coefficients are the numbers in front of the radical. So I'm going to multiply the coefficients together. 2 times 5, and I'm going to keep that 10 as a coefficient. I'm going to multiply the radicals together. Rad 6 times rad 8. 6 times 8 is 48. And that stays under a radical. And then you're going to simplify the individual expressions. So the only thing you can simplify here is the radical. Well, rad 48 is 16 times 3. Rad 16 is 4. 10 times 4 is 40, radical 3. And so this problem, 2 rad 6 times 5 rad 8, simplifies to 40 radical 3. Okay, so you're looking for as few terms as possible, and if you have any like terms, that they get put together. That's essentially it. So I have 3 other examples, and then you're good to go. So here's the next one. This one is super straightforward. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything I assume that you might need to know. So if you have rad 30 times rad 3, well, the coefficients on these are just ones, right? If you don't have a coefficient, it's a 1. So when you multiply your coefficients together, you get a 1. Multiply the radicals together, you get rad 90. And then simplify the rad 90. Rad 9, rad 10. Hopefully by now you can see that 10 isn't going to simplify. Rad 9 is a perfect square. This is a rad 2, rad 5, right? They don't pair up with anything, so they would go away and you'd end up with that. So you have 3 times the coefficient, which in this case is 1. So you have 1 times 3 radical 10, which is just 3 rad 10. Okay. Here's the next one. We're going to do some distribution. And that might a problem. Now, these could have variables in them too. I'm not doing any with variables, but you should be adept enough at them to be able to deal with them without me doing them for you. All right, so here we're going to distribute. So I'm going to take the 3 rad 5 and distribute to the rad 5. Well, that's got a 1 on it. So coefficients, 3 times 1 is 3. Rad 5 times rad 5 is rad 25. Some of you are going to want to skip ahead and make that just a 5. And if you want to, that's fine with me. But for those of you that need to see all these steps, I'll actually do those for you. Okay. And then the second term is going to be 3 rad 5 times negative 4 rad 8. So 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Rad 5 times rad 8 is rad 40. And then we're going to, now it becomes an addition and subtraction problem, which you've already done. So now we're going to simplify each of these terms if possible. You already know how to do this. So the rad 25, that's a perfect square, becomes just 5. So this is 3 times 5, and that's 15. Rad 40 is rad 4, rad 10. Rad 4 is a 2, so 2 times negative 12 is negative 24, radical 10. And those are not like terms, so that's your answer to that problem. Okay? Let's do one more. Excuse me. This is a foiling problem, or double distribution, whichever you want to think of that as. So if we have rad 5 minus rad 6 in a set of parens times 2 rad 5 minus 4 rad 6, now we're just going to FOIL, just like you did when they were whole numbers, except now they're radicals. So 2 rad 5 times 2 rad 5 is 2 rad 25. And then rad 5 times negative 4 rad 6 is negative 4 rad 30. Here's another place where, you could pause and do your foiling and then come back and check your work. That's always handy. Then you have your negative 6 times 2 rad 5. So that's a negative 2 rad 30. And then negative rad 6 times negative 4 rad 6 is a positive 4 rad 36. All right, well, let's handle a couple of these. We've got these two are like terms. They have the same radicand, and in this case, they're non-reducible because 30 has all prime factors. So negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6 radical 30. Let's go to the left. 2 rad 25, well, that's just a 5, so that's a 10. And rad 36 is just a 6, so this is a 24. And now I can combine these like terms. 10 plus 24 is 34 minus 6 rad 30. And that can't go any further. You should check to see if that radical is reducible. In this case, like I said, it's not, because if you take 30, you get 10 and 3. The factors of 10 are 2 and 5. So there's no buddies here, right? They're all individual prime factors, which leads you back to that guy. So this is the answer to that problem. All right, and that's it. So you're ready to go off, and actually there's 2 sections of this, just so you have 2 smaller chunks of homework instead of one big one. This is 6.4 A and B. Okay, all righty, well, toodaloo.